really? Really? And our son's in Miami. So I have to be calm on the phone with him, you know, like a loving mother. I have to be happy on the TV every morning live from New York.
Who would even want to continuously give an ex-husband money to support his mistress and new family after they cheated on you? But Kevin Hunter, on the other hand, was keen on extorting more money from Wendy Williams ever since she filed for divorce. As if all the money that both Kevin and Sharina got from her was not enough. Kevin was able to spoil Sharina and give her the things that she wanted even though he was still married to Wendy. On the other hand, Sharina got used to that lifestyle, the one where she has the chance to get the things that she wants even though she's not working hard for it. Both her and Kevin expected to live a life like that after Wendy divorced him. But Wendy must probably just give them a taste of something that will soon lose. As we all know by now, Wendy had to give Kevin alimony. By the time that she already filed for a divorce, Wendy also had him fired as a producer in the show. According to one of her interviews, Wendy said that she left him divorced and unemployed. That is what he deserves anyway.
I don't recommend that you work with your husband because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
Finally, karma is about to catch up on Kevin and Sharina. Although it has been quite a while, I guess it was still a victory for Wendy when she saw an opportunity to stop paying alimony to Kevin, thus taking away their satisfaction of using Wendy as well. We understand the sentiments of Wendy's fans because they're always calling out Kevin and his unbelievable financial demands to Wendy. Even when they were still together, Kevin was already being called a gold digger by her fans. Apparently, they were right all along. He has seen this drama unfold and everything just became messier when Wendy filed for a divorce. She exposed everything that she knows about Kevin and Sharina because nothing was holding her back anymore. She talked about how she knew about the affair, and to think that this affair has been going on for more than 10 years must have been so frustrating on her part. She had to endure all those years and keep their secret at the same time. But when she found out that Kevin and Sharina are having a child, this is when she called it quits and decided to end things between her and Kevin. What is more outrageous in this situation is the fact that Wendy had to give him alimony even though he cheated on her for a very long time. Remember that Sharina was not even the first woman he cheated with. Well, if we're gonna talk about Wendy's money and how Kevin took advantage of that while they were still together, then let us start off with Kevin buying Sharina, his mistress, a house. He even supported her in the things that she wanted to do and explore. He enrolled her to be a massage therapist. He even invested in her businesses, but all those businesses were not a success. Think of all the money that Kevin used on her. It was not even his to begin with. So how come he had the confidence to receive alimony from her and continue to extort more when she is no longer giving him alimony? But before we get deeper into the video, if you love Wendy Williams and want to see more videos about her, then make sure that you subscribe to our channel. I will always keep you on the loop about the latest updates about her life.
She made herself very available to him. She was very disrespectful to me. Do you know he had the nerve to tell me that she admires me?
Now, going back to the video, let us now talk about how Kevin and Sharina made Wendy suffer. When Wendy found out that Sharina was pregnant, she had a relapse and was rushed to the hospital. Since then, she became more dependent on alcohol, which is a real problem, especially for her job. Some of you might have seen it when she openly talked about her alcoholism and that she had to undergo a rehab. Not only that, but she's also suffering from Graves' disease. At first, she dismissed the rumors that she is sick, but later on revealed what she's going through. She had to take a rest and recover. She appeared a couple of times in public and she was somehow struggling to walk alone during those times. Since she had to take a break and rest, she has been absent for the filming of her show for quite a long time. Guest hosts have taken her place in the show while she's still unable to work. But then, because of this, the Wendy Williams show eventually got cancelled and the show's time slot was given to another host. This was actually the main reason why Wendy is no longer giving him severance pay. When Kevin filed a case against Wendy claiming that she breached their settlement contract, Wendy's lawyer was quick to make a statement about this as well. They explained that ever since the cancellation of the show, Wendy was no longer receiving any compensation from the show. Additionally, she's not working on any other TV show that pays her the same amount. Well, if you're thinking that Wendy could not just stop sending alimony when she was required to do so in the first place, then what Kevin is forgetting is the fact that there are limitations to this agreement. In the same document that they both signed, it is stated that the severance pay can be modified or stopped altogether if Wendy's contract with her show is terminated. Now that it's the case for them, Wendy is already allowed to not send him alimony. But of course, Kevin would not just allow it, knowing that he and Sharina already got used to a life where their needs are being provided even though they're not working.
I mean, I had to, and I've known, all right, we were married for almost 22 years. We were together for 25 years. I don't regret the day of meeting him. I don't regret putting up with him for all 25 years. And that has nothing to do with him having this baby or him having this side girl.
We must all be thinking the same thing about how Kevin was able to save so much money from the alimony that he received from Wendy. I mean, ever since he was fired from the Wendy Williams show, he did not even find a decent job after that. That is because the money from Wendy must have been enough or even too much for their little family. But even with that, they're still expecting more from Wendy. Of course, Wendy is no longer playing their game and wants to be free from them. They had been involving her in different messes and issues even after the things that they made her go through. They were not even ashamed or apologetic with their actions before. Kevin even had the audacity to give himself credit for the success of the show and even included Sharina as well. He said this on an Instagram live when Wendy was still recovering from the relapse. Obviously, he's always taking advantage of the times when Wendy would not be able to respond to his statements. She doesn't even have to respond anyway, and she should really not give Kevin the time of the day because even if she did not defend herself, people are on her side anyway after the things that Kevin did to her. How do you guys think this case would end, and who do you think is at an advantage at this point? I would love to know, so comment your thoughts down below. Now, when Kevin filed for this case, he also tried to talk about his current situation. He's obviously trying to make it look like he's broke by the things that he said. He claimed that he was behind on most of his bills and that he will soon face foreclosure of his house if Wendy still continues to not give him money. He added that he cannot even pay for his car insurance and that he has to undergo a hip surgery, but he would not be able to do that without the alimony. Again, he is obviously showing that they are completely reliant on the money that Wendy sends them. Anyway, remember when Wendy also talked about how she's always on time in sending them the alimony every month? Well, Kevin must have thought that this would always be the case, but not anymore. He should have known that when Wendy decided to be free from him and left him, she's also firm on her decision that she does not want anything to do with him. Many are pointing out that this could just be a tactic of Kevin to gain public sympathy. It would not change the fact though that they signed into the document agreeing to the changes that could be made to the severance pay. Also, does he really think that the people would even feel sorry for him? Because I think no matter how broke he appears to be, people would never take his side. Kevin even recently hired new high-value lawyers to represent him for the case. But again, no matter who his lawyers are, it would not change what is stated in their settlement agreement. That is why people are not believing that he's really broke because he can afford to pay new lawyers, but he's making himself look pitiful as much as possible. He's obviously not thinking his decisions through. Well, I've got very exciting news for you though. The judge denied Kevin's claims and his recent claims. Wendy's financial guardian would not be required to continue giving him alimony pay. According to the report and the document obtained by the U.S. Suns, Kevin's request was not emergent and the judge ordered his application to be dismissed without prejudice. Additionally, Kevin must have hired his new lawyers in the hopes that Wendy would lose the case and would eventually be required to give him attorney fees. To no avail, this request has also been denied. Does Kevin really think that things would immediately be in his favor just because he tried to appear broke? Whether Sharina had pressured Kevin to file this case so that Wendy would be humiliated and they could extort more money from her, their plan obviously failed. Anyway, this does not mean that everything is over between them. The judge added that Kevin can still take his case to mediation. For sure, Kevin would always take all the opportunity to get more money from Wendy no matter what it takes. At this point, people would just think how pathetic he would be to pursue this case and drag it longer instead of just spending his time and remaining money to find a decent job. He would be doomed if he dragged this longer only to end up really broke. He must have money right now from all the past alimony that Wendy had sent him, but until when would it last him and his little family? We're all just waiting for Wendy to make a comeback because she would surely take down Kevin this time. Kevin would be prepared and should know that Wendy is no longer giving him a chance to get more money from her. More things would still happen to this case, and we are excited for what is to come next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out these videos.